What up? Legendary Talks, episode 76, I think. 76 or 77. I'm losing track. We are going to celebrate a big 100th episode in about 25 more episodes. I'm excited about that. Today is Debbie Mazar's birthday. I want to give a shout out to Debbie Mazar. I think she is one of the most, probably one of the coolest chicks that New York has ever seen, and she is my dream guest. We don't know each other, but, a boy from Detroit can dream, can't he? Hey, Alex, what's up? We have, hey, Sydney, we have DJ Aktive tonight. He's someone I've known a really long time. I'm really excited to talk to him about his lengthy career, and, just excited that y'all are watching Legendary Talks. We're doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday now, indefinitely, so... like I said, this is episode 76 or 75, 76 or 77, I'm not sure. And we are going to celebrate my 100th episode in about 3 weeks, I think. So I'm really excited about that. 100 of these. Can you believe that? Because I can't. I did 60 nights in a row. I think it was all of April and all of May. I did every single night. So how's everyone feeling tonight? What are you guys drinking? I have Belvedere and soda. Hey Sid, what's up? 7 and 7? Oh, 77, thank you. Sydney's correcting me. It's episode 77. I wasn't getting it. So, like I said, we have DJ Aktive. He has a long, lengthy career. He's worked with many, many of our favorite people, and I can't wait to chat with him about that. So, how's everyone feeling today, and what are you drinking? Sydney's drinking Belvedere and soda as well. Great. What's up, Andrea? Thank you for sending me that Lotus throwback that I posted last night. Sade was great. I don't know who watched last night. Next week, I have a very exciting week as well. And I'm just really excited to be doing this. Legendary Talks is something that kind of has shaped, itself. It's basically rooted in, culture and people that have been important to culture, so... I'm very excited to celebrate people that have been instrumental in culture. A lot of them known, a lot of them not. Some known, some not known. That doesn't make a difference to me. It's what their cultural contributions that mean a lot to me. Hey, Sarah. You like my hat, Sarah? I'll see you tomorrow, Sarah. Sarah is a great millinery. She makes amazing hats for... many people, including Janelle Monáe. She just made Beyonce's hat, and her latest, the big blue one, among other hats. She made Janelle Monáe's Met Ball hat last year. Love you, Sarah. Very talented. Excited. The sun is in my face. That's a new, interesting thing. Andrea, what's going on in your world? We're waiting for DJ Aktive to join. He is a... very successful DJ that's worked with tons and tons of different people, and I can't wait to chat with him. I don't know what I'm really wearing, kind of hot out, kind of feeling this vibe, all good. Hey guys, how's everyone feeling today? Legendary Talks, episode, according to Sydney, 77. Very excited, only 23 more to go till the 100th episode. Very excited about that. Going to do a big blowout for that one. Hey Estelle, glad you're joining us. And I said today is Debbie Mazar's birthday, so we're celebrating Debbie Mazar. I don't know her, but I've always thought she's one of the coolest chicks in the world has ever seen. So we celebrate her, and she is my dream guest, by the way. Just putting it in the atmosphere if anyone knows her. Aktive has just joined, so... he will be joining us very shortly. Thanks, Estelle. Miss you. Hope you're well. Aktive, do you want me to request you, or are you going to join me? Yes, Aktive has arrived. Let me see if he wants... Let me ask him. What's up?
What up, brother? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to see you.
Thank you for doing this, first of all.
Thank you for having me, fam.
Estelle is on.
What up, Estelle? How you doing, Estelle? What up, family?
So you've seen a couple of these, but maybe there's some people that don't know. Legendary Talks is something I've been doing, this whole time during quarantine, and basically I celebrate people that have been important to culture. So some of them are very well known, some of them are not so well known, but to me it doesn't matter. It's that they have contributed, their contributions to culture are what I'm here to celebrate. So right. I thought that you'd be a great person, as you have a long, lengthy, career and have, worked so hard all these years. So
thank you, brother, for having me. I appreciate it.
So describe yourself. If someone, let's say someone's joining, doesn't know who you are, describe yourself.
I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm a DJ, also producer and remixer. So that's like my main job. That's who I am. I'm a music head. I love music. I'm a hip hop head. I love hip hop. And I love just all genres of music. Music is just all in my soul. I'm just fully in music.
So you're born in Philly, right?
Yeah, born
and raised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I always believe that early years are really shape who you are as an adult creatively. The first 10, 12 years really shape you creatively. If you're a creative adult, they kind of really made you.
Right.
So what do you think is the main influence? How did Philly influence you the most? What's the main influence you got from Philly?
I would think the music, man. Jazzy Jeff, growing up as a kid in West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Yeah, I'm from West Philly, man, just as Will Smith. But I used to see Jazzy Jeff and them as a kid, man, around the way. They was doing a lot of parties on the blocks in the YMCA. So by me seeing Jazzy Jeff, legendary DJ Cash Money, also seeing Will sometimes, I kind of got influenced, with hip hop, when I was younger, man, I used to break dance, stuff like that, and then, seeing Jazzy Jeff and just that whole music, hip hop scene, seeing that around my area where I lived at on my block kind of influenced me to be into music.
That's great.
I would say, that's the facts.
And then what do you take, like, in the world, what do you take from Philly when you're in Europe on tour and things? What's the Philly that stayed with you the whole time, besides the music?
My Philly hat.
Okay, that's good.
I keep my Philly hat on everywhere I go.
I'm from Detroit, and like I said, I want to be Detroit in every situation I'm in. I could be in Paris Fashion Week, but I still want to be Detroit in Paris Fashion Week. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I keep my Philly hat, and then I try to keep some dope sneakers. People from Philly always wearing dope sneaks, so I try to keep the fashion of the kicks and the hat, to represent West Philadelphia.
Yeah, I need to get a Detroit hat. I've had some in life in general, but I need to get another one. Okay, so what's the first, I guess, hip hop song or song that you remember really connecting with?
I'm gonna say the first hip hop song I heard that I connected with was Run DMC.
Which one?
Sucker MCs. That joint right there. Once I heard that song, I was out of here, man.
What's interesting is that I've had a weird resurgence with kind of that early 80s hip hop right now. Of course, I grew up in it, loved it as well. And, I think, from Claudia and Joseph is a good friend of mine, and LL Cool J launched this thing called Rock the Bells. And I think they brought this new resurgence to me with all that. And I'm so into that whole era, like Fat Boys, Run DMC, Houdini. I'm so into that right now. Yeah, man. I love it right now.
I love it, man. So, like I had an older cousin. He's a DJ. His name was DJ Ghetto. And my uncles, man, they was older than me. So I used to see them. I used to be with them in the car. I'm like, damn, what is these songs that they playing? Like, I didn't really know what it was, but the beats was just capturing me. And I was just like, damn, this made me want to do a break dance or something right now. So ever since then, I always been into hip hop music. I mean, I was doing graffiti. I was doing I was break dancing. And then, with the DJing. So hearing Run DMC is definitely inspired me.
What's the first video you remember?
Michael Jackson, Thriller.
I know. What's so funny is that I almost asked, because I've asked every single person that's been on the show. This episode 77. I've asked every single person that question, and they all say Michael Jackson. So I usually say besides Michael Jackson, what's the other video? But we'll take that. You said Michael Jackson Thriller?
Michael Jackson Thriller was that's the first video I seen. That was like a movie, so I was like, yo, what is this? I was scared of it though. I was kind of scared of that video because it was I was kind of young. I was like 3, 4 years old, but I was a little scared. But that was the first video I seen.
I remember MTV used to play it every hour on the hour. Like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, they played it every hour. Thriller.
Right. Yeah.
And what's the first concert you went to?
First concert I went to was Michael Jackson, the Victory Tour.
I'm so jealous. Last night, I had a friend, Sade, and she had seen Michael Jackson off the wall.
I wasn't born. That's crazy though.
I'm jealous. And then she saw Madonna Blonde Ambition and went backstage. I'm very envious of all that. So you said DJ Jazzy Jeff is probably the first DJ you kind of really remember?
Yeah, I would say Jazzy Jeff, and then from there I learned Jam Master Jay, R.I.P. Jam Master Jay. That's when I learned who Jam Master Jay was from Run DMC. So.
And at that time, is that something you wanted to do, or you just kind of thought it was fresh? What do you think?
I just thought it was fresh, man. I just thought it was dope. You know, I see Eric B and Rakim. I seen, once again, Run DMC, LL Cool J. I seen the big radios. I seen the people around the way that had the radios. And I just was like, yo, this is fresh. This is dope. I just wanted to be, part of the hip hop vibe. I didn't really start trying to DJ maybe until like I was maybe 10, 11. That's when I started getting interested.
You're like the old age of 11. That's still very young.
That's what I wanted,
And then because I also think it's interesting. Where were you getting your information from? Was it like the radio? You said you had an uncle, I think.
Yeah.
And was it magazines, radio, MTV, BT? Where were you getting all your information from?
MTV at the time. Not too much BET, but I would say more MTV.
Yeah.
Because BET at that time was kind of like more R&B-ish, I think.
Yeah.
So I would say more MTV at that time. And MTV, Yo MTV Raps, Saturdays on MTV, and then the radio station at that time. We had a radio station in Philly, Power 99. They had Lady B on there back in the day, so I sit here, her rocking, playing classic hip-hop, like 11 o'clock at night. I could sneak and listen to it. My dad and mom, they want me to hear it, but I was listening to it here, Eric B and Rakim.
The same thing. I had to sneak. I had really long headphones and a really long cord, so I'd plug it in and put the headphones in a different room, and I would lay flat and listen to music all night. Like my parents wouldn't know. Same thing. For me, it was radio. I also loved reading like Blackbeat and Beat Street. Those magazines were very informative to me. And then I loved the radio and MTV. Same thing. MTV was really informative, to be honest. I mean,
MTV was informative.
Black artists, basically. So
exactly. It was like you was in school.
And then. I swear Detroit has one of the best radio stations that ever exists, but that's just me being partial. But
Detroit was dope though. Y'all had a dope hip hop scene out there, and they had a dance show out there. I remember seeing
Yep, totally. The scene. The scene.
Yeah.
And then so what's the first New York club you went to?
The first New York club I went to?
Not Philly, New York.
New York, Joe's Pub. Shout out to DJ Beverly
Barnes.
Okay. So that's the first time. She brought me up New York. I was rocking with her. She used to bring me around. So the first club I actually DJ'd at and vibed at was Joe's Pub, I would say. Yeah.
You said Beverly Bond brought you?
Yeah.
Okay. I love her. Yeah. I'm gonna have her on here too. What was your very first DJ job?
My very first DJ job when I was in I would say high school. I was in like 9th grade. And that was the first. I did the school dance, and from there they started booking me. Actually, it was like middle school. I was in 8th grade, and then from there they started booking me to do like their house parties like every weekend, man. So I was doing like mixtapes and house parties, and like for the whole year I DJ'd it every day.
That's crazy. And then what was your first? Do you think your kind of like first big job?
My first big job, I would say, was working with. Jay Irvin, Dr. J's son. That was probably the first big job I did. He had a basketball game in Philadelphia, him and his father, Dr. J. And they had me, I was actually just being like an intern at the radio station in Philly. And he heard me up there and he was like, yo, I want you to come rock at my basketball game. So I started doing that every Wednesday and Fridays. And then from there, I met Michael McArthur. Shout out to Mike Mack, you know what I'm saying? And Mike Mack had me go out with Music Soul Child. That was the first show I did.
Did you have like a mentor at the time, or was anyone that you looked up to at the time, or did you have a mentor at the time?
My cousin, his name was DJ Ghetto. At that time, he was my mentor.
Great.
I was kind of young. I was like 18, 19, so.
I didn't know Jay Irving. Shout out to Jay Irving, first of all. I didn't know that he, that's cool that he hooked you up in the beginning. And then what was the first moment where you're like, I am successful as a DJ in the beginning years?
I'm gonna say when I went on tour, the first tour I did, that was with Music Soul Child in 2000. And then from there, I mean, that was the beginning stages. Once again, shout out to Mike Mack and Jay Hips for definitely putting me on. That's my manager right there for putting me on out there. And from there, it kind of got a little more serious when I started working with Khalees. So at that time, Jay Irvin was managing Khalees, and he asked me to come over to Italy for a audition. So I'm like, Italy? I'm going to Milan? That's crazy. You know, I'm a kid from West Philly, not thinking I'm gonna never go to Milan. So he's like, yo, you're gonna fly out tomorrow. And I went out there, did the audition, and then they kept me on. They kept me on for like 3 years. And then from there, I started working with Nas. So that was like, oh, let's get serious now. And that's when
So how did we meet? I was thinking about today. I think we met, I remember, I think in Europe. That's where I met you, I think, isn't it? Or where did we first meet? What's your first memory of me? Let me ask you that question.
Tour bus. He was out with us on the tour with Khalees in 2006. J1, Zoo. We was in I don't know, we was in Australia or London, Paris. We was a lot of places though. Yeah.
We were in Europe and we were doing. She was filming. So that was like, what was that? 2003, 4? I don't even know. Do you?
It was like 4 or 5. Yep.
Yeah. So she was having she was doing a kind of reality show. Khalees and like her people. So it was like we were filming it. Like the whole thing.
You was. Yep.
And we were going I think we went to like London, Paris, Amsterdam, Berlin, like every day a different spot, like that kind of thing. So that was a wild thing, as always, and
you remember the tour bus?
Take them up the world.
You remember the tour bus? It was like 2-decker and it was weird. Like,
well, I have a crazy story because her song "Trick Me" was on a loop, and it was just me and her on the tour bus. I don't know if we were on a different bus or what it was. It was just me and her only. And people had been there all night. We were kind of having some drinks, talking, whatever. And we were going to bed, and we couldn't get her "Trick Me" song off. And it's just the background vocals and the trap, not her singing. So it was on loop the entire night. We couldn't get off for 8 or 9 hours. The song just going over and over. So to this day, I love her. I love the song. The song still makes me like this because it was for 10 hours. It just would not stop. It was driving me insane on that tour.
Right.
And then, so, I was thinking about you today, too. It's like, the reality is you've worked with, we have so many mutual people that we worked with and our friends. You did Khalees, Estelle, Marsha, Jennifer Hudson, and Janet. All my girls. All the girls. So interesting that, I was thinking about it, like, we really have been connected. And, we wouldn't be connected for years. We've been back like this the past 10, 15 years. We've been like this the whole time. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yep.
What are some who else have you worked with?
Queen Latifah, J. Cole. I did Kanye in 2009.
Which Kanye? You did tour or?
I did a tour with him. Yeah, the 808 Heart.
Oh, I love that one too.
That joint, yeah.
And you've done mostly tours with everyone. You're a touring DJ with them, right?
Yes, yeah, touring DJ, yeah. And I did the Bad Boy tour with Diddy, Tyga, Alicia Keys. And I mean, currently now, just Janet. I've been doing her for the past 6 years.
And what are do you have any like crazy, wild? Doesn't have to be bad, but some wild stories about tour. Like you arrived 5 minutes ready to start, or what are some stories you want to share about being on the tour life? That you can share, obviously. You mean
that I can't share?
I mean, yes, people are watching, I mean, you've been touring with, these people for over 20 years, basically. So I'm sure you have some stories that you can share.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's go back to working with Kanye. I will say Kanye he's very creative, man. I'm saying a lot of people don't like Kanye, but he is a genius musically. I would say that. I would say being out with him, he used to be on me a lot about how he wanted his sound to be. I guess he's a producer. So he used to be, yo, I need you to scratch it this way. I need you to scratch it that way. You know what I'm saying? And if he didn't get his way, you know, he started stumping and jumping around, taking his shirt off, and just started acting crazy. But, you know, that's just how he was. He's passionate about his music. So, you know, that's one story with an artist. What else?
I'm just saying, over the past 20 years, like, you know, my thing is tour life is very grueling. People don't realize, you know, I think tour, it's not fun per se. You love what you do. You know, we all love what we do, but it's not glamorous by any means. I think people think it is. You know, it's like arrive, do the sound check, do the show, sleep, leave. Arrive, you know, you could be in, you know, London, Paris, Italy, and not remember anything about it except the venue you were at. You know, so it's like it's really not.
That's what I'm trying to explain to people, you know, about touring. Like, it's not, you know, they see the glamour and glitz of it, and, you know, this is a real job. You know, you're tired all the time. Your lobby calls are at 5, 6 in the morning. You're jumping on flights to go to the next country, the next state, and to do the show, to get up again, to do it all over again. You know, I mean, it's not pretty as you guys would think. You know, it's definitely real hard work. Please don't get caught up in the Instagram and the pictures and all that. These artists be tired, and, you know, production, you know, people like you know what I'm saying, Damon, who's been on the tour, you know, man, you know, this thing is gruesome.
Well, it's hard work, but, you know, I love what I do, you love what you do, so, you know, I'm very fortunate to do what I do. I think you feel the same way about what you do. So we're not, by no means are we complaining, I just want to reiterate, it's very hard work, and a lot of people don't realize it, so, you know. I mean, I basically throw parties for a living, and people think that's a piece of cake. It's also very hard work. So, you know. No,
that's hard work, because you got to get everybody at the party, and you got one of the best parties in the United States. You got the hottest parties.
I have for quite a while. And then who have you met? Not that you worked with, but who have you met in your 20 plus years of touring, after parties, all this stuff, and you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting this person. Yo, someone that kind of like, you know, you really were like, oh my God, you know.
Yo, I don't know what party it was in New York, but I seen Halle Berry in person. I always had a question on her. I'm like, damn, look at Halle Berry. Like, I'm in the same room as Halle Berry. This shit is wild to me. So, you know, I met her.
Did you talk to her?
Huh?
Did you talk to her?
Yeah, I said hello. You damn right. I went up and said hello. And then I met Mike Tyson. I've always been a fan of Mike Tyson. I was in the same party himself. So I'm like, damn, that's Mike Tyson, you know. So, you know, those two people I always wanted to meet and be around, and I was kind of excited to be around those two people.
Yeah, sometimes we have to pinch ourselves and say, this is our life. You know, this is crazy sometimes in a great way. For me, I would say I met Tupac and I met David Bowie right around the same time. But David Bowie, I like him. He's not like in my top 10, let's say, but something about meeting him really blew me away. And I was surprised at how I was like this when I met him. He had a really strong energy, similar to Tupac. Actually. They have similar energy to me. But anyway, for me, it was those two.
That's crazy. You met Tupac. I always wanted to meet him. I met Biggie, though.
I met Biggie as well. You know.
I met Biggie.
Tupac, to me, was exactly what you thought he was and what you wanted him to be. He was like, you know, complicated but fun. He was like a bunch of different things. You know, he was great. So.
Right.
And then, what are some career highlights you think for you?
I would say, man, you know, definitely working with Janet. You know, I never thought I would ever work with her. You know what I'm saying? So that was a blessing, you know, to ever work with her. To work with Common, too. Salute to Common, because I've worked with Common. I have him on my DJ album, the tour right now. So that was a highlight for me to even get him to bless a verse on my tour, DJ album. What else, man? Of highlights. Working with Nas, you know, doing shows with him. He's my favorite rapper, so that was like a blessing to be there. I was actually nervous doing the show with him. I couldn't remember some of the words because I was so excited, like a groupie DJing. So
that's good.
Man, what else? Let me see. As far as highlights in my career, going overseas. I never thought I would make it overseas. So the first time I went overseas, I would say, really overseas would be with Khalees. You know, I never thought I'd ever, you know, go.
So leave it to Khalees to bring everyone to Europe for the first time, right?
Yeah, man. So that was just like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating all these different foods. Like, you gotta try it. You gotta try that. So that's
like Khalees. When's the last time you talked to her?
I talked to her in the DM last week. So I was congratulating her about her food and stuff. I know you talk to her all the time. That's your food, so.
I talked to her today.
Oh,
So,
so.
no, I love her. She's amazing. So yeah, so for me, I went to Janet's show in Florida. Shout out to Joey Harris.
Shout out to Joey.
He invited me, I think, to her show in Florida. The State of the World. It was towards the end of that tour, so that was probably 2017 maybe.
17.
So, and I kept missing it everywhere. I was in New York when I was in LA. I just kept missing it the whole tour. And I was in Art Basel, so I stayed an extra day specifically to go to that tour. And it was like in Fort Lauderdale or something. It wasn't even in South Beach. And I went. I really wanted to see it. That show was amazing. Like Janet's show is a must-see. I hadn't seen Janet in years, probably about at least 10 years or longer. It was like every single song, you know, I know exactly who I was at, you know, at 7 and 12. It's my life. When you see Janet, it's like you see your own life. You know, it's like your whole life is like from 8 years old till now. You know, like every single song. And then I see you there. I didn't know you were working with at the time. I see you. And the thing about that show is you're so front and center and you're such an integral part of the show. It's like, you know, usually DJs sometimes are in the back or this, that, and the other. You're a major part of that show and really, you know, rooting it in its like high-paced fastness. You know, there's a really, something about, it's kind of like the DJ beat that's kind of, you know, kind of setting it in a lot of ways in an amazing way. And you just get such shine in the show. And I'm really, really, really proud that after all these years, you can get a shine like that. You know, it's amazing, you know. So
I never thought I never thought I would, you know, get that type of shine on her show, you know, because, you know, I just playing, you know, my samples and listen to the music director to tell me, you know, what to do. And she just was like, hey, I want you to open up the show and, you know, play some of my music, you know, can you remix it, you know, and get the crowd going. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, Michael Jackson's sister asked me to do this. So, I know, it was a good time. You know. Yeah,
no, it's really great. And like I said, you get a great. You're such a focal part of it. It's like Janet the Dancers and you. You know, it's like, and Janet's show. I've seen it several times since then. I saw it in Vegas, which was great as well. And you know, Janet's show is a must see in general. It's like it just makes you feel. It's like, you know, you forget or something. It's like, this is amazing. So I love all. I've seen probably maybe 3 versions of the show too. They're all amazing. So, and then so you've been working with Janet for how long?
5 years now.
And how did that come about?
So at the time I was working with Common and we was finishing up a tour. So actually we was in rehearsal at that time and I was just messing around, man, doing this like this, it's a routine. It's a Billie Jean routine, Michael Jackson. I was doing a beat juggle. So basically I took the song and flipped it and made it a different beat. And I guess Jermaine Dupri seen it. He reposted it. And then it's like a week later, I got a call from a friend of mine. He was a music director at the time. His name was Adam Blackstone. He's like, yo, did you do something on Instagram on Common's page with Billie Jean? I'm like, yeah. He was like, yo, Janet seen it. I'm like, Janet? What you mean Janet seen it? How could she see that? Like, you know, he's like, yo, I'm serious. Like, Janet seen it. So I kind of like, all right, cool, I'm going to call you back because I was doing something at the time. Then he called me back like, no, I'm like, this is real. Like, she seen it. She you know, she went to your website. She went to your YouTube. She checked you out. She wants you to come to LA in 2 days. I'm like, what? So I'm like, all right, word. So I just went out there. You know, I had a book bag. I didn't have no suitcase or none of that. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go out here and do the audition or whatever. He's like, just come on. So he got me the flight. Our tour manager hit me up. I came out there, and they were starting Unbreakable tour, and they was a rehearsal. She had me come up. And she sat there and just watched me play for like an hour. And then she saw me play with the band, and I did a couple remixes and stuff like that. And then, I don't know, man, she kept me on. Since then, I ain't never go home from there.
Amazing. Well, I think that she resonates with people that are real. I think that's her thing. You know, like she's like, I think she probably recognized the realness of you or something, you know, because I think that's an important thing for her. She recognizes when people are being real, basically. I think that's, you know, that's her comfort zone. So, and she's awesome, by the way. We both love her. So, I mean, the world loves her too. You know, but, so, what are you know, obviously COVID did something really interesting. Swiss Beats said it best. He said, it's so interesting. As soon as the, you know, quarantine happened, it went right back to the DJs. All the focus went to DJs, which where it always belongs, which to me makes me so happy. I love DJs, as we all know, very much. You know, it's such an important part of my life, are DJs.
Shout out to DJ Kiss, MOS, Rashida.
Everybody. Yeah,
that's all
you know,
fam over there. Yeah.
So, you know, I think for me, it made made me feel comfortable and great that, you know, it did really go right back to the DJs. Who have you kind of been, besides Kiss and MOS, like you just mentioned, who have you been kind of watching, or who have you been, you know, impressed by, or, you know, obviously D-Nice.
Of course, shout out to Big Bro. Yep.
And then Cassidy just did something, I don't know if you saw, but
Cassidy been killing it right now.
That's amazing.
He came out of nowhere. Did you see when he had like Earth, Wind and Fire, and like, I think it was Melissa Morgan perform?
Mm-hmm. He had Sherelle, he had all of them. I mean, like, he had Ray Parker Jr., everybody.
That's crazy. I mean, and they was in, I don't know how you set that up, had them in tune like that. So I'm like, yo, that's... And then he just did a hip-hop one. Did you miss that one? I didn't see the hip-hop one. Mike Mack told me about it. I got to see that one, yeah.
It is unbelievable. It is every single I'm not going to ruin it for you. Just watch it. It's amazing. So, but my thing is, you know, I'm so proud of all the DJs in general.
Beverly Bonds, she's been killing it.
Who?
Beverly Bonds.
Yes, Beverly. Yeah. So who have you been paying attention to, and who have you liked, or?
I've been paying attention to everybody. I've been checking MOS out. I've been checking out Beverly, of course, she be killing. I've been checking out D-Nice. You know, he started off with D-Nice for making it happen. Rashida's been dope. Natasha Diggs been amazing too.
Yep, you're right.
It's a girl in Atlanta, DJ Princess Cut. She's been rocking. I'm checking her out. Who else, man? And Jazzy Jeff, he's been going in. He's been going in like crazy, man. So
yeah, I've been watching MOS mostly, and but I love what you're doing. So you're doing something, I like, you know, the ones that are doing something unique as well. You're doing something unique. Tell the people what you're doing when you do your sets and stuff.
Well, I have a set that I do every Wednesday. It's called Chill Vibes. So it's basically just, you know, it's a chill vibe, chilling, maybe in the house having some drinks. And usually I have an artist come through. Last night I had Johnny Gill come in. And, you know, I did a whole tribute to Johnny. And then from there, I interviewed Johnny Gill. You know, we talked about a couple things, some tour stuff. Let me see, who else did I have? I had Jimmy Jam. I had Janet come in. Rap Treasure last weekend. So, I mean, that's just what it is. But I do on Wednesdays. I have another party I do on Saturday nights. It's called Protect Your Neck. So it's like classic hip-hop, 90s hip-hop, early 2000 hip-hop. You know, sometimes I have an artist come through. I had Cameron come through, and I did a tribute to him. He got in the chat. We talked. You know, so I just that's something cool, man. Just to do it out. You're doing something. I got Cisco. I had Cisco in the chat.
You're doing something different as well, which I think is amazing. I think Beverly Bond just joined. Bev, we've been talking about you every 5 minutes on this chat. She just came on.
Bev, what up, Bev?
No, but we are doing something different, and I like it. I appreciate the uniqueness that certain people are doing.
I'm sorry, I had my big sister Estelle came through and showed love. Ava Reed. So I try to do something every Wednesday, you know, for the people that's quarantined. We still kind of quarantined right now on the East Coast, you know, between Philly, New York, and Delaware, and Jersey. So, you know, it ain't too many parties we can do outside. So, you know, just try to do something in the house to get back.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you said what we were doing is really great. I'll help you. I'll post it. I'll post your invite for you next Wednesday coming up. I promise.
Thank you.
And then, so what are you grateful for at this moment, right now in 2020?
Man, I'm grateful to be still living. I'm gonna say that much. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I still, you know, could do what I love. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're not outside and we're indoors, you know. And I'm just grateful for friends and family, man. You know what I'm saying? And this time, you know, in these times. So that's what I'm grateful for. You know, some real shit.
Yeah, listen. All we are is real right now. I mean, there ain't no fake no more. There's no fake in the world anymore. Everything's real now.
No more.
Lynn Whitfield told me recently, and I just like repeating it because it stuck with me and meant a lot to me. She said, only the real and only the authentic will thrive during this time. Only. So, and she's right.
I think I saw you post something like that. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Probably, but she said it to me first. She's the first person to say it to me. I said, you know what? She's 100% right.
Yeah.
Only the real and the authentic are going to thrive in this time.
Only the strong will survive right now. Yep.
And then what inspires you right now? You know, like right now again, in this point in your life, it doesn't have to be COVID, but in, you know, the last year, what inspires you right now in your life?
I would say, man, I mean, people that's following their dreams and not giving up, you know, I think that inspires me, you know. to see people doing what they love and not stopping and not quitting. So that keeps me fueled and keep me want to keep going. I'm like, damn, okay, they still doing it. So that inspires me to keep going, you know, because sometimes I be want to give up. I'm like, now I feel like doing this. But, you know, I still see people like you, people, you know, that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, that's still doing it, and that make me strive. So I look up to that. That's inspiring.
I've had a lot of people on here, and you know, the reality is we've all grown up together. You know, we've all known each other about 20 years, and we literally have grown up together. It's really interesting when you think of it in those terms, you know, like, you know, but I keep saying, because this is my 77th episode, and I did 60 nights in a row, but it was D-Nice and MOS that were inspiring me. I said, if they can do it every night, I can do it every night. Both of them.
Right.
That's true. I'm like, those are both my good friends, my brothers, and they can do it every night, so can I. So that's true. So
right.
And then, so if you could go to dinner with 4 people, living or dead, who would you go to dinner with?
Oh shit. Let me see. Who would I go to dinner with? Whitney Houston.
Good one.
Because I would like to see how she is in person. Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be her, so I would say Whitney Houston. Michael Jackson for sure.
Yep.
Biggie.
Yep.
And you said living or not living?
Either, it doesn't matter, but either.
And Jay-Z.
Who?
Jay-Z.
Good. That's a good. I want to go to that dinner. I'll be your guest. That's a good one. And then, okay, so you know, we're finally, before we wrap it up, is there anything that you want to say?
I mean, listen. I mean, you guys can follow me. I appreciate y'all. I mean, I'm on Instagram, as you can see, DJ Active. You can check the party out on Wednesday nights. Each and every Wednesday it goes down 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. I think that's PS time. So PS
And
time.
then, we're, you know, none of us are really working. Our industry, we're not really working. Is there any way we can support you, whether it be tipping in your Cash App or like what, you know? None of us are really working.
If you want to give, that's fine. Cash App. I have T-shirts now, Chill Vibe T-shirts on DJActiveMusic.net and Protect Your Neck T-shirts. You want to grab a T-shirt and rock it? I appreciate that. That's really it, man. So.
Well, listen, we all got to support each other right now. That's for sure.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, like I said, you know, I wanted to support your cultural contributions. You have really put in so much work over the years, and a lot of people get a lot of glory and praise for it, and a lot of people don't. So I want to really acknowledge that you have worked very hard for over 20 years, making people's experiences amazing. You put your heart and soul into everything that you've done, and you know, I just think you're a really important person to culture, and I want to celebrate you today. So
thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Always love.
Thank you. But like I said, we grew up together. We know each other for 20 years.
Yeah, really, literally.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You be safe, and you have a great night.
All right. Thanks, Dang.
Thank you.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.